Dum, dum, dum. I'm your host, Lady Caren. Welcome to the Wise One channel. How are you? I hope you are well. Saturday. Totally. Yeah. No. I'm kind of up for an hour. Or tried to be up for an hour. I'm not awake. For some reason, my nose is all stuffed up. I am, yeah. Oh, I won't do it right now, this morning. So sit there and consider it. Gotcha. I just thought I'd talk about what I think about this morning, and quite frankly, thoughts went away as soon as I hit the record button. Yeah, that's how it works. Drink more coffee, more coffee. Yeah. No. I get moving and getting things done. I don't know. Sometimes I think about modern humans, domesticated people, versus the nomads, Paleolithic, pre-Paleolithic. Oh, Paleolithic. Let's see what this says. Oh yeah, let's look at the moon. I love this moon thing. Moon X app. It says it's in Leo. I hope it's still enough the camera can focus. That is so cool. Libra, not Libra. Because one is a Leo. Wow. It's 14th. So what happened to 13th? Libra. Scorpion. 15th. So tomorrow it'll be in Scorpion. It's Libra. The moon rises tonight at 1:34 a.m. and sets at 1:21 p.m. Is that like p.m.? So then it rose this morning. Is that good? I have to look at that. The full moon again in February 5th, and then 21st is a new moon. So anything we want to get rid of and banish out of our lives. So what do we want to get out of our lives? What kind of dirt, glitter? Things that take up our space, our times, our thoughts, and our feelings that don't need to be taking up that kind of space, time, thoughts, feelings. We don't have that to do with. We are usually, along with everything else, the monkey. So last night's thoughts before trying to go to bed, before I got up, woke up before a nap this morning, was the new religion is psychology. Think about this: the new Bible is the one with diagnosis of the disorders, diagnostics tools. Think about this. Let me figure out which book it is. Psychology. Yeah, PS. Psychology. Book to diagnose. So let's find out what this book really is. Yeah. Yeah, this one. This. Yeah. Diagnostics and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. That's one of the new Bibles. Think about this, okay? So you go into psychology like back then, and they would give you these terms dealing with your trauma that your family who traumatized you. It used to be, okay, pre-psychology, if you had a problem, you'd go to your mama or your papa or your auntie or whoever was in your family. You'd be like, oh, I'm having such a hard time. And they'd be like, okay, here's what we're going to do. And then they'd culture you based on how they do it. Like if you had a rich aunt, she'd be like, oh, let's go shopping. And that would be how you do things. If you had a religious mother, it'd be like, oh, let's pray. If you had like a woodsy, outdoorsy uncle, and be like, well, let's go fishing and take care of this, and whether or not it took care of it or if it perpetuated and made the problem worse, in which case everybody is mentally health crippled nowadays, especially post COVID, where everybody had isolation, which they're not raised in and not cultured to, and so this is not very healthy. Isolation has its issues when it comes to humans' mental health. We'll isolate our animals. Some people will isolate their animals and keep their animals inside only, and don't think about what did to COVID. I mean, come on, don't they have mental health? But yeah, so sat there and I thought, this sucker is spreading like the word of the Bible. These mental health psychology books that your shrink and everybody has been made to read in their education. Because if it was your mom or dad or whoever who neglected, abused, or was just more mentally health harming than helping, because shopping takes care of all your problems. No, that was not my personal story, but yeah. So if you think about if they were the ones that were doing the harm, so they had to be cultured into, so they had to call a psychologist, right? And you call a psychologist, you go in, you have an appointment, and they teach you, oh, you're disassociating or dysregulating, or here's a new term that we called out of this book. Okay, so they'll use these terms out of this book. So you were trauma responding to such and such and such. You were manic, or you were in an episode, or this happened to you, you're reacting, you are responding. They'll teach you these words. And since you were in an environment that may have caused your issues in the first place. I mean, or the way you perceived your environment. Either way, everybody has a different, beautiful story. Tragic, beautiful, wonderful, different story for different people, right? So you go back into the environment. They let you back in. They only have you for a little bit. They give you these terms, dissociated, regulated, whatever it is. And some of them taught you who to blame. Not all of them. Some of them are like, well, how do you think and what do you feel about this and what do you want to do about it? And here's your homework. Um, and you go back in there into the environment that you needed psychological help in. And you spread the good word. Oh no, I'm never going to dissociate again. I'm going to put down boundaries. Okay, probably another word in one of their books. Okay, their good book. It's probably not the good book. There's probably not just one, but there's a whole library of books, which they all learned. All of them learned. And then they teach you. And they preach it to you. Weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever it is, and the roster. And you go out and you say these terms and you do these things and you have this, it's the next cult. Psychology is the next, hopefully it's helping people's mental health. Like when we went to church to help our spiritual health. And hopefully if you've got a good spiritual leader, you're having good spiritual health and not ones who use it, abuse you. Psychologists who you're at your most vulnerable and did worse rather than better. So as there's so many wonderful ones out there if you can find them, or ones that fit for you. And whether or not they're good or bad, it's whether or not they fit for you. And so not only is it just the elites, those who could afford their bill, but now it's like, hey, here's a organization that helps people who are struggling get into the mental health. So more and more of the population is getting access to mental health, where they are learning, helping you become a better you, helping you now as a child, or you're learning as a child, you can better stay, or for yourself, even in your own home, and be able to sit peacefully, like just do whatever you need to do in your home to have the life that you need. I mean, if it helps you, please continue to help us. But I'm looking at it, it's like it's spreading like a cult. It's spreading like a religion. Everybody's in, like me growing up, when I was way, way younger, nobody was going to talk about being with a psychologist, seeing a psychologist, talking with them. Being with them sounds, insinuates things that probably shouldn't be insinuated. But then, like, think about this. Nowadays, it's, oh yeah, I see. Yeah, I was talking to my shrink, so my psychologist like Wednesday, and I was talking and people are like, it's not like, oh, you're crazy, you're talking to shrink. It's like, oh, okay, you've gone through COVID. Everybody's gone through, a national mental health crisis, and people are getting their help. So like whole families are going, everybody's going. It's a norm. If they can get it, there's a shortage of psychologists because they have more people than they have time to put them in. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't take on more new patients. Or you're going to end up breaking the psychologist, So that's funny because it's the ones that needed the most mental health that decided to go read these books about mental health. it's just the irony of this. I mean, the sucker is spreading, and like, whether it's bad or good, hopefully it's a good thing. Hopefully, but the whole. So whoever is writing these books is indoctrinating the whole nation, the whole country, in cultural beliefs. Hopefully, as a nation, we can put down boundaries and be like, no, Mr. President, former President Trump, you did not win this election, and you must stand down. We have a firm boundary that you did not do this. So therefore, these are the consequences. Whew. Like I said, my nose is all stuffy. I don't know. I have to get the dust. So, in a world where Americans' mental health is a cult, so who is indoctrinating? I have to find out who these licensed professionals are who are indoctrinating. Like, everybody's crazy. It's like the terms that non-autistic people see autistic people before they were more knowledgeable about what it was. I mean, this disorder, when it becomes a disorder, wow. So again, like way back then, when the guy wrote anybody who wasn't basically like him was crazy, way, 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 way back in history. And now we got people who are writing disorder, disorder this, disorder that. I mean, if it's making it so that you can't function like a dysfunction, like you can't function in your day-to-day life, anxiety and whatnot, then yeah, that's a problem that needs to be addressed. But what happened in our country? As a country besides COVID? Was it the toughen up buttercup and just take this crap kind of attitude from way back then, the golden days and golden years? Like, yeah, I have to sit here and think about these things. But yeah, no, the biggest cult in the US today is psychology. Mm-hmm. 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 Instead of a spiritual cult, it's a mental health cult. Oh. Mm-hmm. Mm. So yeah, those were the things that I thought about. Tried to take a nap last night, a very long nap, and then woke up this morning. And then before I went and took a nap this morning, like 2:00 this morning. Yeah, no. So hopefully it's a good thing. I'm not saying stop seeing your shrink because it's a cult. Please don't. If it's helping you through your life and you are having a better life, or even if you're in a moment where it seems bad, but you can't tell if it's helping or not because it's in the middle of the messy parts, I mean, consider sticking with it. Like, knowing that, hey, on the other side of it, it might not be so sticky, it might not be so garbled, it might be working, helping you be a better you. You have to put in the work. Yeah. But still, I mean, so you have to wonder, the people that wrote these textbooks are indoctrinating the country. not. I'd love to hear where you think I'm wrong. Because, I mean, maybe I'm just not seeing it from a certain point of view. But at the irony, it doesn't elude me. I mean, I'd love to get your guys' opinion on this. If one of you guys can chime in from other parts of the world, because probably other parts of the world, the US probably doesn't watch my channel. No. Yeah. Yeah. You guys are beautiful. Do you wonder how my music viewer is doing and how she's? So I know she has her good days and bad days, but I'm hoping she's doing well with her puppy. Yeah. But yeah, so those were my thoughts. And now this morning, I just think about things that try to just get out about my. I know I have the day to do to be involved and to interact with. Because time keeps going, whether or not I interact with it. Have you ever noticed that? A perception? Whether or not we perceive the time still continues to move. Like, holy crap, where did the hour go? I don't know if I want to check the weather. Weather. I know what I'm doing. I'm on here for the weather. The weather. Wow. It gets up to freezing today around 1, according to the. And then it's maintains a 33 to 32 till like 6 p.m. Huh. Okay, we're going to. I'm not going out in the weather. Take the kids to the mall to walk around. I'm a wimp. I'm not going out and freezing. Is there an indoor place to take your dog so your dog doesn't freeze to death while they're on their walk? Because their little paws, their fur might keep them warm, but their little paws touching really cold concrete is really kind of crappy. I have to wonder. So yeah. I have to wonder. Yeah. It's cold. I don't want anything cold. It's not snow. So not like I can take my kids sledding for like 10 minutes and be like, oh, you've been out in the sun. No, it's cold. Very cold. I don't want to I can't believe it's the 14th. "14 days into the new year, this year. Got nothing done. I had such high hopes. But the thing is, the year's not over, so I mean, I'm getting something. So it's trouble. Not trouble. That's where my mind shot to first. Is, we're going to get into trouble. No, we're not going to get into trouble. But liking and subscribing this new year, we could try that for the channel. I have to get monetized so I can pay for somebody else to edit the videos. That would be awesome. So liking, subscribing, I don't care what part of the world you're in, what country. Okay. Yeah. What is American really like? Apparently it's something out of a psychology diagnostics book. That's what America's like. I watch those YouTube videos on daily life and a routine, a morning routine of a mother, too, and watch, a mother of a toddler, or this is my daily routine. This is what the CEOs do. This is what da. Some people have their lives together. Some people do not. And I have this YouTube channel. No, I have more than this. I have a wonderful, wonderful family, and I have a wonderful. I have a roof over my head that's dry and warm, and I'm very grateful for. I mean, there are people that don't have that. There's this one dude who, due to national disaster, lost his house. And he makes TikTok videos. I love his TikTok videos. It's and yeah, because of the hurricane, he lost his home. And yeah, so hopefully he's doing better. Should find out. I should find out. Check on him. Check on some of my TikTokers, because I just wonder, we're going to put, it's a high of 33 degrees. We're going to put the high in because it sounds better than putting in the low 20 some degrees. Fahrenheit. I do Fahrenheit. Celsius is not something I can easily translate to. It doesn't feel like equivalent. I feel like I'd get it off. I'd get the Celsius wrong. Celsius sounds pretty accurate. 0 is freezing. 100 is a good number for boiling. I don't know. It's an accurate measurement. I don't know if Fahrenheit is an accurate measurement. I don't know why they decided with Fahrenheit. I have to go research that. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Apparently angles affected by vision. I don't know why. Okay. We're on Saturday. It feels like it is precious and few because he's working his schedule change. So on this week, or this site that he's on, HAP sites, he's on a main site, but they're temporarily working other sites because they're out of some reason they don't have a certain amount of work. So then they're on another site because they're electricians. There's plenty of electricians out there, so I could talk about an electrician. Yeah, I'll come back and edit this if this is wrong. I'll have to learn how to cut this part out and talk about if he's like, no, don't talk about my, he says don't talk about my problems. So that's not a problem. It's just this career, that commonality that a lot of people are going into electrician work. They're not enough or too much or something. Yeah, I under. But yeah, he's working second shift, 40 or 5 days a week, where he was working his 40 and 4 days a week. 4 times. Because I thought we had moved to 30-hour weeks. And yeah. I need to come up with a spiritual curriculum for the kids. Yeah, meditation, all that stuff. Self-reflection, books to read, so that they can make their decisions like religiously. They can be like, oh, this is a religion that resonates with me. This is a religion that I can get behind. That sounds good. I'm healthy in here. Nobody's pushing any boundaries that don't need to be pushed. That's kind of thing where they can figure out, is this a good religion for me, or it's the bad religion for me, or I don't need religion, I just want spirituality. Let them be able to figure out how they can decide. I mean, what they can gauge is healthy and working for them, and what they can gauge is, this is not something that works for me. This is not healthy. I'm leaving this. Yeah. But yeah, a spiritual curriculum where they can learn about themselves, learn about people, learn about their spiritual connection. That self-reflection is entirely too important not to do, and the fact that it's just, we got mindfulness in school. I guess you need somebody you can trust. And it's healthier to have a one-on-one person when you do self-reflection. Because that's where you get into shadow work. And that can be, where, I don't know if anybody's done, where you sit there and go, why does this bother me so much? And realize, oh, that's why, oh my God, cry. My whole life is, self-reflection is important to do that for so often per day or per week or per something, and people just don't do it. And it wasn't cultivated in my home growing up or anything. So there were lots of, I don't understand how you can emotionally regulate or if I know that term means correctly. I'm just using it from people using it. I have noticed that people don't always use terms correctly for what they were invented for. So I have lots of doubts because some of my vocab comes from just hearing people use it. Not all of it. A lot of it come from books where I mispronounce it horribly. Yeah. And I need to get back into books, reading. Oh my gosh. I want to reading. Because I want to. And writing. That'll help me be a better writer. Because the English language is amazing, what you do with it. And the fact that people speak the modern English that we use every day, and it sounds like somebody speaking a whole other language. The terms and the vocabulary and the usage of quaint terms sometimes are rather unique, difficult to follow. Like Piers Anthony versus McCaffrey, especially if you get into fantasy writers. When they submerge it into their own little world by giving you all these terms. Yeah. So a lot of times if I'm looking to do this thing, sometimes a key creative process is to not directly look at, if I'm having trouble coming up with things to write or to do or to say, part of the creative process that ADHD utilizes is to indirectly look at it. And so when I indirectly look at something and something comes to my mind going, oh my gosh, my environment is so chaotically decorated. Things are much matched, nothing's themed. It's very eclectic, it's very intriguing looking, very cluttered, very messy. It doesn't say this way. I mean, even when it's cleaned up though, it's easy enough to maintain. And not always. We call that my dad's time. So you hear the chime, that's my dad sets it like so many minutes early, like apparently 11 minutes early. And that's his time. That's, good. And we have record time. So sometimes I use that as a gauge of, we have to leave at, say, 8 o'clock. I get ready at the chimes. Or have my kid put on their boots and their shoes at the chimes, But luckily it's weekend. We don't have to go to school on the weekend. There's no study hall in our school. We don't have a study hall. We have detention. We make you do it because you were at Saturday detention. No, I don't think my kid's school has detention. No, probably the back desk love screw things up. Oh my god. So interesting. But anyways, so I'm directly looking at that going, what do I envision my environment to be? I'm like, well, it's not that. Yeah. No, I am tired. So we've got about 10 minutes before I let you go. Oh, I've only been going not even 40 minutes. Oh, geez. I got on here later than I anticipated though. But I will hop off so I can get things done. Hopefully. But I want things done. So yeah, I gotta clean. I just wanted to sleep this last week, and this last week like nearly disappeared out from under me. Thinking about things that I need to do today. Trying to get my brain to think about them is difficult. All right. Trying to think what we're going to talk about next week. Or next week. Tomorrow's religious. We're going to talk about religious or spiritual. Spiritual. I'm tired. We will get through. We'll get it through. I mean, I'll have my better days. And I'll be all, wee, let's go. And I'll have my low days, you know. And the thing is, what are we going to do about the low days and the high days? And the fun part about it is as your brain matures, which my brain matures, it starts doing things like merging the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere together. And parts of the brain start to merge together and to build beautiful bridges. It's kind of fascinating. So you can do things that you probably couldn't do as a child or even a young adult. And so the brain continues to mature even after it's matured to the point where it can make decisions. The brain is an evolutionary process from the get-go all the way up. And it is absolutely fascinating. One of my hyperfixations is the human brain. Brains in general, and skeletons and skulls and culture, anthropology type things. Let's see what else. Cats are a major hyperfixation. Religion is hyperfixation. Spirituality is hyperfixation. Just self-improvement is a hyperfixation. Autism apparently is a attention deficit disorder. Maturity. I have lots of hyperfixations. Nutrition. Health. Overall health. Mental health, spiritual health, physical health. Yeah, health. But yeah, tomorrow's spiritual. And I'm sure I'll get that. I should have that all organized for you guys. It is blinking red or blue. Ooh, red. It's usually talking about the phone. But we will see things later. But I thank you so much if you've decided to stop by. And if you want to hit that like or subscribe button or the notification bell, there are some days I have missed and I don't understand how I missed them. We are day 14 into the year and somehow I only have 6 episodes of Coffee with Caren. Intriguing. I missed days. I really missed some days. But yeah, we'll see what we can do about this. I don't know yet. But yeah, I appreciate you stopping by my channel. Watching all of this part is something amazing because I don't even do that. But yeah, love you. Love you. I love you. You have a good one, okay?